Hey gamers, it's G from the corner, and after all this time, Nintendo has finally confirmed that yes, the Switch's successor is coming, and it's coming pretty soon. Now, Nintendo themselves, as I mentioned in a previous video, I don't think are going to be talking about the console itself until we get to the later portions of the year. However, I've got a little inkling that we might hear some more Switch 2 stuff that isn't just rumors and speculation, some actual tangible official info relatively soon from a certain third party. Okay, so come this summer is the Summer Games Fest, basically the replacement E3 that everybody except Nintendo goes to and talks about all their games there. And, third parties are clearly working with the Switch 2, and now that Nintendo has confirmed that a Switch successor is on the horizon, essentially the same way they confirmed the NX, the Switch's existence with the codename NX back in 2015, they can start talking about stuff. I'm sure they have games that are in development for it, that they want to talk about. Maybe exclusives. Exclusives are probably going to be saved for when Nintendo's ready to talk about it, but I think that the Switch will get some pretty good, the Switch 2 or whatever, will get some pretty good third-party support, especially right out of the gate, considering that the parity, right now, they're going to be upgrading their hardware, their specs. The rumors are PS4 Pro level, which, isn't too far off from what the consoles are currently capable of. So, I feel like right away, there's gonna be a big rush to be like, okay, we need to get our stuff on the Switch 2 while it's easy to do, and we need to get this stuff out. We're gonna make sure that this game is working on Switch 2 day one, this game's on Switch 2 day one. A lot of third parties are already planning on getting their games running in line with Switch 2, as well as PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. And I could definitely see this support not just being saved for when Nintendo's ready to talk about the console. I could totally see one or two of these games, maybe even more so, getting confirmed for the Switch successor at Summer Games Fest. First of all, that'll drum up hype around your game. Obviously, saying that our game is coming out is one thing. Saying that our game is coming out on Switch successor gets a lot of people excited. Hey, the new console that I'm excited for is going to be able to play this new game. Oh, wow, that's really cool. The new console that I'm excited for. Wait a minute, if it's going to be able to play this game, then that means that that's probably what the specs are going to look like. It just adds to the discussion. People like me will probably start making more videos about it and talking with my friends about it. It'll just be a big thing, all right? But I feel like it will happen. And I know this might be a bit odd, like, would they not be allowed to talk about that stuff until Nintendo's ready to pull the rug under? Well, actually, this happened before. There were a number of games that were confirmed for NX very early on. Back in 2016, Project Sonic 2017, later known as Sonic Forces, got a reveal trailer saying that it was coming to Xbox One, PS4, and the NX. Literally just a generic NX logo they made in 5 seconds and put at the end of the trailer. That was something. But even before then, Dragon Quest XI was, I think, when it was first announced. Maybe it was first announced at this point. I don't remember exactly. But back in 2015, they confirmed that this game was coming to PS4, NX, and 3DS. So even then, like 2015, I think it was like a few months after Nintendo made that statement, they said it was coming to NX. It didn't come to it until around like 2019, it came a little bit later, but still, companies can talk about this stuff early if they are ready to talk about it. So, no different here. I think we're going to be hearing something from somebody about a game they have in development for Switch 2. And there's one game that I think above all others, this is such an easy dub. I think the company has been thinking about this from the start and is like, this is a perfect idea. We have to do this. All right. And I think that at Summer Games Fest, there's going to be a trailer for this game. And at the end of the trailer, they're going to confirm that it is coming to the Xbox Series consoles, PC, PlayStation 5, as well as the Switch's successor. And that game is... That's right, Monster Hunter Wilds just announced at the Game Awards. I wholeheartedly believe this game is coming to Switch 2, and I think it'll be their day and date with the other versions, okay? We don't have a release date for this game yet. It could launch in the first or second month of 2025. This is possible, but there have been rumors that Capcom is planning to launch the next Resident Evil game in January of 2025. I just thought of this right now. Thank goodness I did. But yeah, they are planning to launch this game in the same time frame that you would expect that people are thinking Monster Hunter might drop in. So, they're not going to drop those both at the same time, which pushes Monster Hunter into the spring-summer of 2025, which means that the Switch's successor will likely be out by then. So, fair game. They can launch on all 4, however you want to call it, all those platforms at once. some people might be listening to me right now and thinking, gee, Corner, what are you talking about? You are crazy. This next generation technical showcase is not going to be launching on the Switch's successor. And to that, I say, are you really? Next gen showcase. I've been hearing some people say that apparently Capcom has made statements that it will be pushing the limits of the consoles. But, I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me, considering that it's coming to the inferior Xbox console. How are you pushing limits if you are also playable on this? Maybe you have, like, performance enhancement modes, but I'm going to be real, gamers. The footage that I saw at the Game Awards, that looked like a PS4 game, okay? A bunch of models were on screen. That was the most technically impressive thing there, and that could easily be accomplished on whatever hardware Nintendo has. Again, PS4 Pro specs, pretty close to PS5, pretty close to Xbox Series, very close to Xbox Series S, I would say. So I think it's a no-brainer. Again, look at those muddy textures. Look at how the game looks good. All right, it looks good. It honestly kind of doesn't look as good as World, though. I'm going to be honest. It looks all right. Like, you know, it's supposed to be maybe an open world Monster Hunter potentially, so that could complicate things a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like not only, again, another thing, there are a lot of games that came out on PS4 and Xbox One back when the Switch first launched that got ported over to the Switch with minimal compromise. Remember Doom 2016? That game was crazy. On Switch. Perfectly fine, you know? Now, you're probably thinking, why Monster Hunter? Why is that coming up as such a big thing, like, immediately in your mind? Monster Hunter has had quite the history with Nintendo, actually. Monster Hunter Tri-3 on the Wii. Monster Hunter Tri-3 Complete on Wii U. There were a ton of 3DS Monster Hunters for a while. They took a break with one game and made it PlayStation exclusive, and then went back to Rise being a timed exclusive on Switch for, like, 2 years. Okay, they like Nintendo. They really like Nintendo. Nintendo is their friend. And not in the way where, like, other series have not been appearing on, like, the Switch and such. Like, Resident Evil never got a Switch exclusive entry. Street Fighter 5 or 6 never popped up on Switch in any way, shape, or form. But Monster Hunter and Nintendo, like, Monster Hunter is very popular. And if I recall, there was a very popular entry in the series released on the PSP. In my mind, I guess Capcom went to Nintendo to try and replicate the success on the 3DS. And then that's why they came back for Rise on the Switch. And I think now is the time to just merge it all together, to be like, okay, here is a Monster Hunter. It's not the Nintendo Monster Hunter. It's not the big high-end Monster Hunter. This is the one that's coming out on everything all at once, day and date. Okay, you're getting the same experience no matter where you play it, and it is a high-quality, high-end Monster Hunter experience. I think it just makes sense to me. I don't know. I feel like this is a big get. This is a big announcement. They might save it for later. I'm going to be honest. It could show up at the end of the trailer. It could show up in an interview. It could be the Switch successor gets a reveal trailer a la the original Switch, and we see some guy playing Monster Hunter Wilds in there. I could see it happening. But I'm going to be honest. I think it'd be a pretty baller move, and it would get a lot of people talking about Nintendo stuff if they announced this game at Summer Games Fest just right away in a month from now. In literally a month's time, they could have announced the game coming to Switch 2 with its big blowout, because again, I should stress actually that game is set to get its next big news drop in the summer. In fact, it could actually be at a State of Play or something, similarly to Street Fighter 6, which had a similar sort of you'll hear more in the summer mind frame, you know, like that could very easily be in the cards, but we are just going to have to wait and see. This is my expectation. This is what I think is going to happen. I could be dead wrong. Feel free to come back and laugh at me in literally a month when I am dead wrong. But, guys, I think it's time. All right, Switch successor talk is going to get steamy these next few months. It's going to be fuming the next few months. We are going to be having so much fun talking about this thing. Rumors, leaks, speculation, and whatever official word comes out. Okay, like I am gnawing at the bits. You know, off topic, but one thing that's getting me a lot more excited about Switch 2's talk than I was about NX talk was that, you know, with the NX, we knew about it so far in advance that people would go through the entire, like the second 2016 started, people were like, NX where, NX when, and Nintendo saying that it was coming in 2017 was more so a delay than an announcement. We are at that point right now, and now I feel like, okay, we can start getting hyped up for this thing. You tell me that in 4 months we're going to actually see what this thing looks like. 4 months is October, is it not? I think it is. 4 or 5 months. That is extremely exciting. That is extreme. Like, oh my goodness. All right, like I can wait for that, obviously, because if Nintendo, like you tell me Nintendo's got a direct plan for June, and then later in the year we're going to hear about the new console, and then early next year, it sounds almost too good to be true. I've got to set my expectation. Part of me is like, will they wait until next year to even reveal it? But whatever. Unimportant. I am just ready to hear about this. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think this is a good read. I don't know, maybe everybody feel free to laugh at me in the comments, but I think this would be smart for for Capcom, for Nintendo. It gets a lot of buzz around this game. It'll make it possibly, maybe it'll be one of the most successful Monster Hunter launches. Think about it, if it's launching on everything, I could see them cracking like 10 million in a weekend. Maybe. I should probably have looked up the other sales for the games in the series before making that claim, but maybe. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to give it a shot. I never actually played any of them. I played a bit of World, and it was pretty fun, but I'm going to give this one a shot. I'll be there day one, so, I think it's going to happen. That's my read. Keep yourselves cornered for more reads like this later.